Hey guys, Anthony here. In this video, I'm giving you 10 reasons why you should not buy a new construction home this year. Let's begin. Hey guys, my name's Anthony LaBorde with LaBorde Realty Group here in Atlanta, Georgia. As I mentioned in this video, we're going to cover 10 reasons why I suggest you not purchase a new construction home this year. Now, before I jump into the content, let me clarify. I've done a ton of new construction business. I'm a big fan of it when it's done correctly. And I know that there's a lot of great builders out there. I'm not talking about any specific builders in this one, just as a general overview. These are things that I personally, with my clients, have run into in the past year, the headaches that it has caused, the reasons why a few of them did decide to go get a resale home and not purchase a new construction home because of all these red flags, the warning signs. We're gonna jump right into it. Let's begin. So the first one on the list is what I call the bait and switch. Now, it's not just necessarily with the home prices, and that's the one we see the most of. For instance, you're driving around a neighborhood, you see a sign for a new community coming up, homes starting in the high 300s. I guarantee you they're not starting in the high 300s. If any amount of time has even gone by since that sign was posted, and as fast as home prices are going up, raw materials are going up, delays in the process, which I'm gonna get into all this in this video. If that sign's been up for any amount of time whatsoever, I guarantee you those prices have changed. But I'm also seeing it in appliances. I had an example not too long ago where a client was told that to get a specific dishwasher, it was an upgrade on a dishwasher, it was gonna cost $500 extra. So we talked about it, we did a little research, come to find out that if they were to just go buy that themselves, it was literally half the price and installed. It was another bait and switch. I've seen it on warranties where they'll claim one thing and then the warranty says another. The other thing I see it quite a bit on are model homes. And you'd be surprised how many people kind of fall for this tactic. A model home is the model. That's the best of the best they have on the property. It's usually got all the bells and whistles, all the upgrades in there. So when you walk in, you're just wowed. Wow, look at this beautiful, oh my gosh, look at that paint color, look at that texture on the wall. The houses aren't like that, not unless you're willing to pay top of the top dollar. So number 2 on the list are the ongoing supply chain issues. If you've been around the last couple of years, you know that in 2020 when the pandemic hit, that it just drastically hurt the supply chain. To this day, we still have cargo ships out in the ocean that can't get in to unload their cargoes. So how this affects you as a home buyer for new construction, I'll give you an example. So I have a family right now that they started a home early last year. Things were going great. Come about summer, that supply chain really hit this particular builder pretty hard. My buyers have a home to sell in order to close on this house. They can't do anything until we get a close date on the house that they're building. We have been pushed back. It's now going on 18 months where we've been pushed back multiple times. We still don't have a close date. They're sitting on their house, wondering if they're gonna be able to sell it. Is the market gonna shift before they can get it? And we're waiting on this other one. It can just cause a tremendous amount of headaches, uncertainty, anxiety in the entire process because of these supply chain issues. And unfortunately, I don't think they're going away anytime soon. Now, number 3 on the list are the ongoing escalating lumber prices. If you recall early last year, about springtime, the lumber prices went through the roof. A lot of this had to do with supply chain, labor issues. There was a number of factors that did affect that, but they were at an all-time high. Well, then they started to come back down through the summer. Well, late summer and going into the fall, right back where they were again. What we've seen builders do, and especially in this environment, and they've really always done it this way, is they write into the contract that they have a right to adjust the final sales price if any of your costs or their costs, lumber prices, appliances, anything goes up during the time of construction. They don't need your permission to raise that price, and we've seen it go up $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, depending on the price point, that they'll just raise it. And they may tell you, they may not tell you, but come closing, you now have a different priced home. So the next reason on the list to avoid new construction homes this year are the quality issues. Yeah, unfortunately, we are seeing this more and more and more. I've yet to go to a closing. Well, I know that I didn't go to a closing this past year for a new build where we didn't go through the final walkthrough and there was a laundry list of things that needed to be fixed or touched up or cleaned up or patched up or you name it. Now, there's many reasons why that we're seeing this now, and a lot of it has to do with, I just mentioned, supply chain issues, labor issues, project management. The schedules are getting moved around so much. We've seen, what I've personally seen, our builders are just moving way too fast. They're not taking the time to do quality work like they should, like I've done in the past. And we're talking some high-end builders. These builders are known for their quality. They're known for their craftsmanship. Beware and know that so much of their process has changed drastically in the last 2 years. And it's my gut that's saying this. I think they're just going way too fast. They're not paying attention to the craftsmanship that most of them are known for. They're trying to get as many homes built and on site and framed up as quickly as possible so they can move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. And again, some of that supply and demand. We have a super high demand right now, very low supply, so they're trying to make up that difference. But it's showing up in the craftsmanship and the quality, and something to pay attention to. So the next item on the list are the rising interest rates. We already know for a fact this year in 2022, we have a minimum of 3 interest rate hikes coming this year. Could be more than that, and we're not sure exactly how much it's going to be. Now, why this is important is some of the things that I just mentioned: the scheduling, the supply chain, the delay in all of this stuff. If you move forward on a house today, and let's say the interest rates are 3%, it could be 18 months, because of what all we just talked about, before that house is completed. That interest rate has gone up drastically between now and then, and now you're having to pay the higher interest rates. If you're still gonna move forward with new construction, and this is a concern of yours, you may wanna look at quick build homes. These are homes that are spec homes. You don't get the luxury of choosing all your finishes and all the upgrades and etc. This is a home that the builder has that's specified by plan, has everything already chosen. Many of those, and again, I'm gonna talk about this in a second, you still gotta get on a wait list for that, but many of those can close a lot faster, usually in the next few months versus one that's being built from the ground up. Now, number 6 on the list is how fast a builder will disappear the second you sign those closing documents. Now, I can already see the emails coming now. There's builders that are gonna disagree with this, and some of them are better than others. However, again, everything we just talked about, all the issues they're dealing with, their margins are shrinking drastically. Their costs are skyrocketing. The moment you sign those documents, they're on to the next project, and part of me sees, I kind of understand that, but just like when I'm a realtor, like I'm your realtor, and we buy a house together, I don't go away. You hear from me for a long time afterwards. We continue to talk. I check up on you. How's the house? Anything I can do for you? Do you know anybody else that needs any help? These builders, when they close that deal, they are done. Now, the reason I'm staying on this a little bit is because they go through so much effort to convince you that that's not the case. That, hey, we're here for you, and if anything comes up after closing, that we're gonna come right out and take care of it. That's why you have a warranty. That's something else. That's another bullet point. That warranty is a little bit of a bait and switch as well. I mentioned that in the first bullet point. Again, I've just seen it way too many times. It happens a lot on the final walkthroughs as we're getting close to the closing date. They're never finished on time, ever finished on time. And almost inevitably, we go to the final walkthrough, and then the day of closing, we go through that walkthrough. There's still items. Again, they will tell you all day long, don't worry about it. We just need to close, and we'll take care of it afterwards. You better make sure there aren't any big major items on that list that potentially won't get done, because the chances of it happening are pretty slim. So last but not least on the list is, I'm just gonna call it availability. Now, what I mean by this is typically in the past, prior to all this mess that we're dealing with the last couple of years, to get a new construction home, it was pretty simple. You go into the site, the subdivision, you meet with their agent, you find the floor plan that you want, you find the lot that you want, you put down earnest money, construction begins, and you're off and running. Not anymore. Because of the supply chain, because of supply and demand, because of the inventory, because of all this mess going on, the builders can't keep up with this demand. It's part of why they're rushing through and getting sloppy on their craftsmanship. They can't keep up with it. So what they're doing is they're building at full speed ahead, but they're only releasing, and this is across the board. Almost every single builder that I have come in contact with the last year are doing this, and they're only releasing a certain amount of homes per month. Typically it's 2. I saw one that did 4 one month. That was pretty high, but most of them are just doing 2 a month. So imagine this. You have to get on a waiting list for all these subdivisions. We call it our VIP list. So you put your information in there. When the time comes, let's say it's January the 1st, they're gonna release those 2 homes. They randomly select from that list 2 people. Now, let me back up. Some of the builders do it this way. They randomly select 2 from that list and they call them to see if they're still interested. Others are doing just a mass email out to everybody. So you can imagine if it's a Toll Brothers, Ashton Woods, some of these higher end, really nice subdivisions in Cumming and Alpharetta, their VIP list is 200 and 300 and 400 people deep. And that's no joke. I have heard of those lists being that long. So you can imagine the competition that's out there. 2 homes, 400 people, go. Not as easy as it used to be. I've also seen builders putting their homes on the MLS. So again, no longer can you go into the subdivision and find the floor plan, do this and this and this. They're building the home and putting that on the MLS to be bid against, just like all the other resale homes. So that $650,000 new construction home you saw is now going to be sold for $750,000 because it was put out on the market to be bid against like the resale. So it's not quite as easy as you think it'd be just to go put some earnest money down. If you're not going for resale because you don't want to be in a multi-offer deal and don't want the competition, let's say, let's go to new construction, I have a surprise for you. It's the exact same thing over there. Plus you got all the headaches of dealing with the builders, all their mess, all their supply chain, all that stuff. So with all of that said, that's a wrap on this video, but I did want to say one more thing. There's a lot of good builders out there. I did a lot of business this year with a number of new construction homes. There's really good builders out there. These are the problems that I ran into this year and what is to be expected going into next year. A lot of the problems we have aren't going away anytime soon. So we're still going to continue seeing labor issues, supply chain issues, cost of materials going up. So definitely something to be conscious of. But if you have any questions at all about anything on the market, anything real estate related, moving to Atlanta, living here, things to do here, whatever it is, hit me up. I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, you guys have a great day.